Hello, welcome to another IELTS speaking part 1 for DoMagettiIELTS.com. Today's topic, as you can see here, this one is less obvious, but this one is much more obvious. It's about being patient or patience. Okay? Anger, irritation, annoyance, all of these things are to do with losing your patience. So these are words that are going to come into the talk. This girl here looks pretty patient, so I've just chosen that as an example of patience and losing your patience. Okay, so before we begin, we need to define the word patient, because from my past experience as a teacher, as I've noted here, some students are not sure what the topic means. So I'm just going to give an outline of some of the expressions and the definition of the word patient. Okay, patient is an adjective of to be patient. So patient is an adjective, and also the noun of to have patience. Remember, a simple grammar trick is that the verb be always goes with an adjective. The verb have always goes with a noun. When I say always, I say 90% of situations. So there will be exceptions, but these two are general rules. Is our am with an adjective, have, has with a noun. So what it means is to be able to keep control of yourself in various situations, keep cool, and the ability to control your temper or your annoyance or whatever word we use. For this topic, we're going to provide the vocabulary for you to incorporate into your answers. So here are some definitions. Patient is an adjective, to be patient. I am a patient person, example. Patience, noun. I have a lot of patience. Impatient, opposite of patient. To not be patient. Don't like to wait. Get angry quite quickly or lose your cool quite quickly. To be level-headed means to be in control of yourself and not get angry or irritated or annoyed. To lose your cool, as you can imagine, it means to get angry. To freak out also means to lose it. There are many expressions. To be calm, again, adjective. Keep control of yourself. Easygoing is a way to describe a relaxed person. To not let things bother you, which is a kind of idiom, means things don't get you annoyed or irritated. Or maybe it takes a lot of things to get you irritated, but usually you're fine. To let off steam. When you let off steam, it means you get angry about something because usually you've been building this thing up inside you for a long time. So many things might happen, and each time they make you a little bit more angry, but you keep control of yourself. But one day, eventually, you just have had enough, and you explode. After you've done this, we use an expression also to get something off your chest. I haven't written it down, but it's one of those things that goes with it. When you get something off your chest, you scream, you shout, you get angry, and then you feel better because now you don't have to keep this thing to yourself any longer. We say it builds up inside you. There are many expressions, but something will build up inside you until you can't keep it inside you any longer, and then that's when you let off steam. Yes. So there's some definitions. Some of them will be in the answers, some of them will not be in the answers, but look at them. Check the dictionary, check examples, and if you need to use them or you think you could use them to talk about yourself, then by all means, please use them. Moving on. So As you know, for those of you who have followed previous videos, this is the format. We have the question. I give you 4 examples of answers, beginnings, and the full answers, and then I color code it. So we give the answer to the question, reason for your answer, and any extra information. These 3 things, this will usually be first. These 2 might be in different orders, or 1 or 2 may be missing, because your answer doesn't have to contain both of these. It contain both of these to make it a longer answer, but you should have a reason for why you give an answer or extra information for your answer. Okay, so the first question is, are you a patient person? Yes, generally, not really, not at all. So we're ranging from yes to no. As is customary, I will just choose one. You can stop the video at any time you like and look at all 4 of the answers. So I will read 1. Sometimes I might read 2 if I think there's another example that's worth saying, so you can hear how I pronounce the certain words, etc. So some of them I'll just demonstrate how to answer them. So I may say more than 1 for certain questions. For this question, I'm going to choose generally and not at all. So generally, like most people, I am quite level-headed, but don't have patience with things which do not need to happen, like laziness and dishonesty. Not at all. I'm a very particular person. Everything has to be exactly the way I want it. If it is not, I freak out and completely lose my cool. People tell me I'm incredibly impatient. Do you think patience is important? I have very, crucial, really important, somewhat, so-so. It depends on the situation. Again, that's always a good answer because it allows you to split your answer into 2, because you have depends on the situation means you're going to describe 2 different situations. Always good for a longer answer. So we'll use that one. It depends on the situation. Parents, for example, need to be ultra patient, especially with young children. Whereas a teenager at school with no responsibilities doesn't need to demonstrate this characteristic. So what that really means is the teenager is at that age where they don't need to be a patient person. They'll learn to be patient as they get older, but during those years, it's not that big of a deal for them to be patient. It's good that they can be, but it's not really expected. That's what I should say. Another good one, actually, for you guys, a lot of you guys who are medical professionals. I'll use this one also. It is crucial. A good example is a teacher or people who work with others, say a medical professional. People of all ages can be temperamental. A person needs to have huge amounts of patience to do these types of jobs. So that is your job. Most of you will be watching this video. You're a medical professional. You can relate to that answer. The next one. What things do you become impatient about? Little things, normal things. I get annoyed about, as I said before, nothing, literally. That's one of the previous answers. So I didn't actually say that answer, but you'll be able to read it. So that's why if these questions come in sequence, you can refer back to a previous answer. Okay. Normal things, like when people are impolite, dishonest, loud, or arrogant. All of the everyday things we encounter. I do not see the need for them, but we have to put up with them. And then we'll do this one. As I said before, nothing really. I don't think we should spend our time worrying about things like this. We can't change these things, so we should focus on ourselves and not what others do. When was the last time you became impatient? A few something ago, a few weeks ago, a few months ago, a few days ago. You put in whatever you want there. A long time ago. I can't remember, and never. A few weeks ago, when I was waiting for someone to, I was waiting for, sorry, when was the last time you became impatient? A few weeks ago, when I was waiting for someone to come to my house to see me. They were over an hour late and did not call me to tell me they were going to be late. I had a few choice words for them when they finally arrived. A few choice words means tell them exactly what you think. So you tell them that you're not happy, that they're late. Why are you late? I've been waiting for over an hour for you. Why didn't you tell me? This is not good enough. Whatever you're going to say, that is what we mean by a few choice words. Okay, actually, I'll do these two also. A long time ago, it used to be a common occurrence, means used to happen all the time. Waiting for my sister to get ready to go out was always a nightmare. She was never ready on time for anything. A nightmare means a bad experience. So, not a dream, it's just an expression that we use. And that's actually a true story because I have a younger sister, and often we would be going to different places and I would call her and say, I'll pick you up at this time. 7:30, for example. We have to leave at 7:30. I would arrive at 7:20 and she would be not even begun to get ready. She would be still watching TV. Oh, I've got to have a shower, I've got to get ready. So I would end up waiting 30 minutes for her. And we were late on many occasions, or she caused me to be late on many occasions. So that's actually a true story. I can't remember exactly, but I remember getting quite angry when I bought a computer and it died. It was less than 6 months old, but the store would not honour the warranty. It took several emails and calls to the company for them to fix it. Okay, so there are some example questions for the topic of patience. So spend time practicing your answers, change the information to suit yourself. Look at the underlined expressions that I've written in the answers. They are common idioms, phrasal verbs, collocations, etc. So try to incorporate some of those into your answers. If you cannot or do not feel comfortable enough with your own answers, then feel free to use those answers that have been given to you. Copy them. The examiner is not fact checking. They don't know. They just want to hear your English. Remember this. So they're not going to say, is that true? Or where did you hear about that? They're not going to ask you anything like that. They just want to hear you answer the question, and they're assessing your English ability, nothing else. Okay, final piece of advice, as usual, keep practicing. Practice as much as you can. You should be practicing every day. If you want to take the exam, this is what you should be doing. Once a week, nowhere near enough. Even twice a week, nowhere near enough. If you really want to get the 7 and now 6.5 for the writing, still difficult. So bear these things in mind and practice as often as you can. Let's put it this way. If you put as much time into studying IELTS as you did, not all of you, but I would guess most of you, as you did into using Facebook or other social medias, other forms of social media, you would have more than enough time. So think about that. And keep tuned in, keep subscribed, and there will always be more videos on the way. And you will be notified whenever a new video arrives. Thank you.